leader. Boss, the floor is yours, sir.
All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, all. Good morning, Triumphs. I'm glad to be speaking to you again this morning. I hope we are all good. I hope we had an amazing and wonderful night rest. All right, and I hope you're grinding your business, and I hope you're implementing everything that we learn in our cell meetings. It's not enough to just hear these things. All right. What is most important is that we implement, all right, the things that we learn. Okay. So this morning I'm going to be teaching us something very important. Just hold on, please. Hold on, please. Let me see how I can pin this camera here. Let me see how I can pin my camera here. Hold on, please. I really wish I could know how to pin this. Well, perhaps you need to see me. You may. I'm using my camera on my phone, then I'm using my slide on the laptop. The laptop, I don't know what happened to the camera. It's not showing. Anyways, we'll just continue because we don't have all the time. All right, so this morning, okay, hold on. I think I remember what I did yesterday. Okay, let me see. Spotlights. The spotlight work. Okay, I think, all right, spotlight, I think it's better. All right, so if you can see my screen and you can see me and you can see my screen the same time, can you type one on chat box? Let me see, let me know. If you can see my screen and you can see my screen and you can see me at the same time, you can see the both of us together, both my screen and me, type one. All right, all right, thank you very much. All right, so good morning, everybody. Again, I want to first of all welcome you to cell meeting. I can see a few persons here. I see people who I see Mr. Marcos, I see a few of other persons here this morning. All right. I recognize everybody here, all right, from different states, different Ondo, Ekiti, Ibadan, Lagos, Port Harcourt. If I didn't call your state, please forgive me. All right. I think it's just an oversight. Okay. Benin. All right. Port Harcourt, I think I mentioned Port Harcourt. All right. So today, we're going to look at something very important. How to build momentum when you feel stuck. Many of us will come into the business with lots of momentum, and it's like we're moving up the hill, and all of a sudden we start going down the hill again. All right, we start losing momentum. All right, how do you build momentum when you feel stuck? I want us to know something very important today, that every great move of God starts with emotion. Every great move of God starts with emotion. Today we are driving into how to break stagnation, activate momentum, and move boldly. All right, personally and also in business. First of all, let's look at why do we get stuck? Why do we get stuck? One of the reasons why we get stuck, all right, in business and in life in general is, first of all, the fear of failure or judgment. The fear of failure or judgment, we are afraid to fail. We are afraid to be judged. So we want to play safe. We are afraid to fail. We are afraid to be judged. So we want to play safe. We imagine the worst outcomes before we even started. We want to do something and we cannot even see any positivity. We cannot even see any possibility that this will work. A lot's already going through our mind. We're already assuming that, how about if this doesn't work? How about if I fail? How about, all that is going through our head is always negativity, negativity, negativity. At no point do we try to replace negativity with positivity. How about it works? How about I succeed? How about I make lots of money? All right. So, number one, why do we get stuck? Fear of failure or judgment. We imagine the worst outcomes before we even start. Number two, why do we get stuck? Number two, overthinking. All right, overthinking. Analysis paralysis keeps us planning without execution. All right. We are always I will, we see, some of us we have big plans. How we will do this, how we will do that, how we will take over Lagos, take over Port Harcourt, take over this, that, we have those plans, take over Benin, take over Ibadan, everywhere. But no execution, as in we will plan, but execute is always the problem. That's one of the reasons why we get stuck. Why do we get stuck? Number three, discouragement. Rejections from family, from loved ones, from friends, everybody around us, rejections or lack of results can often create doubt. All right, can often create doubt. Why do we get stuck? Number four, perfectionism. We want everything to be perfect. Before we even start, we want, in fact, if it's not perfect in our head, we will not do it. We delay progress waiting for ideal conditions. We want the perfect situation, the perfect condition. When things seem right, that is when I will do it. Why do we get stuck? First of all, the truth is this. Most people don't fail because of lack of potential. They fail because they stop trying too soon. That's the reason why most people fail. Now, what is momentum? What is momentum? Momentum is the energy and drive that builds when you keep showing up. Momentum is the energy and drive that builds when you keep showing up. What many of us expect is that we just come into the business once, or you do activity once like this, and momentum shows up. No, it doesn't work like that. All right. Momentum is an outburst of pile up of activities. An outburst of pile up of activity. For example, you buy gas, all right, you fill your gas cylinder, all right, you fill your gas cylinder, you now place that gas cylinder, all right, inside a hot vehicle in a hot afternoon. You lock everywhere. What people hear is the boom, the explosion. But before the explosion, there were a set of activities that happened. There was energy charging up, all right, there was heat charging up, all right, energizing the gas inside the cylinder. So momentum is the energy and drive that builds up when you keep showing up. People celebrate results, but what people forget most time is that there were a lot of activities that went into the result. But what many of us want is that we want the result, but the activity, no, we don't want to do the activity. The activity, showing up, prospecting, inviting, close down, doing the activities, the income producing activities. Many of us complain we are not making money in the business, but we know that we are not doing activities that will bring about the monies. When you see somebody do a millionaire in the business, all right, it didn't just fly there, all right. Certain activities came before that money showed up. You see somebody have a large team, the person has a large team, all right. Before the large team came, all right, certain level of energy, activity, drives, all right, build, all right, contributes to this momentum. First of all, think of a moving train. It starts slow, but becomes unstoppable over time. I don't know if you have seen a train when they start, all right? When they start, they start jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. You know how they start, all right? They start gently. But what happens next? All right, fire. All right, fire. Just like fire down in the words of Pastor Jakaye. All right. In business and faith, generally, momentum makes your actions easier and more productive as you stay consistent. Momentum makes your actions easier, all right, and more productive as you stay consistent. Your business thrives not on how much you do in a day, but how often you stay in the motion. That's a word for somebody here today. Your business thrives not on how much you do in a day, all right, but how often you stay in the motion. You see, it's just like a wall, all right? You keep beating that hard wall, you keep beating that wall, you keep beating it, beating it, beating it. One day that wall will give way for you. And what people will see the wall giving way, but they will not see the activities, the number of times you have to eat it and eat it and eat it and eat it and eat it until that result shows up. Let's look at some biblical foundations, all right, for motion, all right, for motion, for momentum. I know we have Muslims in the house, all right. I would have quoted the Quran, but I'm not a Muslim, so I may not be able to, really go to details. But I'm sure that there should be places in the Quran that also speaks about this. But you may just listen just because you want to learn something, all right, from me this morning. Let's look at Ecclesiastes 11:4. It says, whoever watches the wind, all right, will not plant. Whoever watches the wind, all right, will not plant. What is that place telling us? Waiting for perfect conditions means nothing gets done. Waiting for perfect conditions, all right, means nothing gets done. You are waiting for the perfect condition before you do things. You are waiting for when everything will be comfortable when you do things. Before you run your business, before you do the activities, all right, that will create the income. Forget it. You will not do anything. You will not do anything. Let's look at James also. James 2:17. Faith without work is dead. Faith without work is what? Is dead. You can believe, but you must act. You must believe, but you must act. No action, no results. No action, no momentum. Newton's law says that a body will not be set on motion except an external force act on it. No action, no results. Let's look at Proverbs. Proverbs 16:3. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and it will establish your plans. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and it will establish your plan. But not something. God doesn't bless laziness. God doesn't bless laziness. He blesses actions. He doesn't bless laziness. He blesses actions. Let's look at step one. All right. Step one, how to build momentum. Start small, but start now. Start small, but start now. You don't need a grand plan, all right? You don't need a grand plan, all right? Just a simple action. Just a simple, consistent action. What you do, just small things you do every day, they will pile up. Those small things, even if it's prospecting, you are prospecting every day. You are prospecting every day. A time is coming when that prospecting, you have prospected so many people, let's say 100 or 200 people. Guess what? Then you start getting the results. That's why I tell people this. When people say that, how much have you made in the business? I say, see, what they're expecting sometimes is that they want you to give them a figure. If you give them a figure, they say they want to see evidence. All right. You call a small figure, you call a big figure, they say evidence. You call a small figure, they tell you that it's too small. Now, the right answer, like I always say, is I cannot really tell you. I know you want me to give you a figure, but I cannot quantify how much I've made in the business. But I can tell you I've made money, I am still making money, and I'm doing activities that may not pay me today, but will pay me, all right, later. This activity may even pay me in 2 years' time. I once told a story here, how I showed somebody business 2 years ago. 2 years later, the person came back to me to tell me that she's ready to join the business. All right. Now imagine I got the result 2 years later. Somebody will say, wow, you got to go and sign up. But the person has forgotten that momentum you are seeing, that result you are seeing now was in 2 years ago. All right. So you don't need a great plan, just start small. Start with simple actions. All right. Start with simple daily actions. All right. I want to show 5 people my business every day. Start with that. Just continue. Consistency space. You cannot beat a man who is consistent at what he does. What many of us do is that we do this one small now, we leave it. After like 1 year or 6 months, 3 months, we come back again. We do this small thing again, we leave it. You cannot build momentum that way. Momentum is a result of daily consistent actions. Those actions may be small, 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 small. For example, you can imagine a leaking tap that is dropping water, top, top, top. All right. One day, leave it like that for 1 month, that bucket will full. But what people will see is a bucket. But people will forget that, man, it was a result of daily consistent action. For example, send 2 prospect messages daily. Send 2 prospect messages daily. All right. Do it consistently for 1 month, for 2 months, for 3 months. See what will happen. The results will happen. All right. The results will happen. But people will not know that, man, before the results happen, all right, there were activities, there were actions that you are taking. Make 1 follow-up calls daily. Make 1 follow-up call daily. Post something valuable on your status, on your Facebook, on your WhatsApp status, on your Facebook about the business. Do it daily. Do it daily. All right. Daily consistent action. Progress starts, all right, with a single move. God multiplies what's already in motion. God multiplies what is already in motion. Progress starts with a single move. Step 2, create accountability. Create accountability. Don't work alone. You cannot build this business alone. Get a partner or a small group. Get an accountability partner. Your accountability partner, I rather use the word accountability partner. Accountability partner can be your mentor, can be your downline, but somebody that you guys know that you are accountable to yourself, all right? You are pushing something. At the time, Dominion Paul was my accountability partner in this business. Yes, you heard me rightly. Was my accountability partner in this business. Get an accountability partner. Share somebody you share daily goals with, man. Man, this month, man, me, I want to hit 1 million naira in this business this month. Me, I want to hit 2 million naira. Me, I want to hit 5 million naira. Me, I want to hit 10 million naira. All right. And you guys are checking on yourself at least 5 minutes every day. You're checking yourself. How far? How much you don't go? How far? What are you doing? Man, this is what me I'm doing, right? Because I need to get results. Because you guys, that's an accountability partner. All right. Encourage each other. All right. To keep going. You guys are pushing together because you have a goal. You have a goal. You go faster alone, but you go further together. Teamwork builds consistency. All right. You want an accountability partner. You cannot don't go and make somebody who is not serious in the business. You make somebody who is running towards the same direction with you. Somebody who something is chasing the person, something is driving the person. For example, me, I know what is chasing me. I cannot go and make somebody who nothing is chasing my accountability partner. The person will drain me. The person will drag me down. So create accountability. Reconnect to your why. Reconnect to your why. You see, many times, many of us, we forget why we are running this business. Like one time I heard somebody say that I need to convince, I don't want to give a clue, him or her, on why he should run the business. I'm like, what? On the reason why he should run, I'm like, wow. This person has forgotten his or her why. You see, when you have a solid why, when you remember your why you join this business, why you are here, nobody needs to motivate you. Nobody needs to motivate you to do the activity. Nobody needs to motivate you to do the needful. What many of us are waiting for is you want to be motivated, you want to be inspired. Oh, that means you don't have your why. That means your why is not enough. That means your why is not pursuing you. That means your why is not out of your life, because my own why is pursuing me. My own why is driving me crazy every day. My why is the reason why I continue to grind the business. Sometimes do I feel energy down? Yes. Sometimes do I feel like, man, giving up? Yes. Yes, I'm human. No. Sometimes do I feel like quitting? Yes. But when I remember my why, I keep going. Many of us, we have forgotten our why. You had a why. There was a reason. When you saw this business first, there was that, it was like a flash. You know, many of us when we sleep, we dream, right? Most people dream, right? But many of us, many people wake up and they forget their dream. That's what's happening to many of you here. You know that kind of dream that you dream. You had one serious dream. I had one serious dream. I had this very serious. This dream was very serious. But man, you wake up, you can't remember the dream. That's what's happening to many of you. There was a why. There was something you saw. You saw it. You saw it. You saw it. That was why you took that action. You see, many times people take action based on emotion. They're not trying to support it with logic. There was actually something you saw that made you sign up. The reason why many of you are waiting for motivation and all that is because you have forgotten your why. Why did you start this journey in the first place? Remember it. Is it your family? Financial freedom? Your calling? You want to impact on the world? You want to build a legacy? What was it? Remind yourself daily of this why. Write it down. Speak it out. Speak it out. Passion is fueled by purpose. A strong why breaks every excuse. The reason why many people still give excuses to run this business, the reason why many people give excuses to do what they have to do to make money in this business, all right? The reason why many people give so many excuses, all right, to do the needful, to grind and run the business is because they forgot their why. It's because what? They forgot their what? Their why. The reason why many people, you need to motivate them to do things, you need to drive them to do things, is because they forget their why. So they can make excuses, and these excuses always make sense to their head. This excuse always makes sense to them. This excuse always seems very right. But let me tell you this. If your why is built, if your why is big enough, if your why is big enough, no excuse can suffice. I'm going to tell you a personal experience. One of my first why I joined this business was that I wanted to, you see, I used to work in the oil and gas. I used to do 28 days, 1 week off. And I was tired of that life. I was tired of going, as in stay. In fact, when that 7 days off was even 5 days, because if you minus the day I will come back and the day I will go back, that's more like 5 days. That 5 days, no, they reach. Like that first day you come back, you sleep, you wake up. It don't remain 4 days, though. In fact, the day I come back from site, it's like they have just released a prisoner. You are very happy and excited. But guess what? The day you are going back, man, and in fact, a day to going back, now thinking, say, man, I dey go back to this thing again. To go and spend 28 days on site. That was my first why. I had a strong why. So that was why I could not, in fact, this business became my top priority. I was giving a lot of excuses. I'd rather give excuse for my work than give excuse to the business because I had a why. This business became my first option. My work became my second option because I had a why. Passion is fueled by purpose. A strong why breaks every excuses. Momentum killers to avoid. What are the momentum killers to avoid? Comparing your chapter 1 to someone's chapter 10. Comparing your chapter 1 to somebody's chapter 10. For example, you know the chapter that you have, all right, on your own journey in this business. I know the chapter that I am in my journey in this business. I'm in chapter 10 already. You are still in chapter 1, chapter 2. You want to have my results. You want to have my results. Is it possible for you to have my results? But at least do the things that I do. Do the things that got me to chapter 10. All right, so that you can also be in chapter 10. Right? These are momentum killers. Because you're not getting my results, my kind of results, all right? Perhaps maybe I've been able to develop my leadership activity, my leadership qualities, my leadership skills. I've been able to develop myself skill-wise. All right, you know 7 skills. I'm very sound at the 7 skills. All right, on the 7 skills, you can call me 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. But your own 7 skills is nothing to write about. Your 7 skills is 0 over 7. Your 7 skills is 1 over 7. Your 7 skills is 2 over 7. Instead for you to think about, okay, how do I get myself to a 7/7 so that I can play at this level? Momentum killers to avoid. Waiting for motivation instead of building discipline. I woke up as early as, of course, I wake up before 5 o'clock every morning. All right. Because I have to be in the office for this meeting, I was rushing down, all right, to get to the office before 8 o'clock this morning. Wow. Do you think it's because I'm being motivated? Oh, you think it's because I'm being motivated? No. No, not motivation. Discipline. Discipline is not when you do things when it's comfortable for you. It's when you do it even when it's not comfortable for you, you still do it. If you are waiting for motivation, you will not do anything. Discipline. Momentum killers to avoid. Saying I will do it tomorrow, which becomes never. Saying I will do it tomorrow, I will do it tomorrow, I will do it tomorrow. Never. You will not do it. Many of you had plans that this year, 2025, was going to be a massive year for you in this business. What is happening? Because for you, it's always tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, when I wake up tomorrow. In fact, next week, I'm bouncing back. 2 weeks time, I'm bouncing back. 3 weeks time, I'm bouncing back. Why not do it now? Why not start now? Momentum killers to avoid. Operating in isolation. Operating in isolation, thinking that you can do it alone. You cannot build this business alone. This business, you need people. You need people. So get plugged into the team. Get plugged into the team. Be part of the team. Part of the team activities. Participate in part of the activities. Participate in the office activities. Attend physical trainings at the office. Final charge for this morning. Don't wait for motivation. Create it through action. Number 2, start messy. Don't wait for the perfect time. Show up even when you don't feel like. Pray, plan, and move. God blesses steps, not just thoughts. This week, pick up 3 daily actions, 3 small daily actions. Not necessarily big actions, the small daily actions, and stick with them consistently. Like I always say, you cannot beat a man who is consistent at what he does. Your next level is waiting on the other side of action, other side of motion. So this morning, one of the things that you can also do, all right, that you can do, all right, to create momentum for yourself and your team is our upcoming retreat happening in September. As we all know, we are aware of this retreat happening in September. What happens in this retreat, I'm telling you, somewhat spiritual than even physical, because the energy in the hall, that energy alone can transform a life. That energy alone can transform a life. That energy alone can create miracle. You know what it means? When people have the same purpose, the same focus, are in a place, miracle happens. The charge happens. So I'm going to be handing over to my stamina. Let's take comments, contribution. We have just 10 minutes to run up. Let's take comments, contribution. I hope you got value this morning. God bless every one of you. I love you all. And I want to assure you again, I want to give my word again, that we are in this together. We are going to succeed together. Just follow my lead. Thank you very much. God bless you. By Samina, you have the floor, please.
Thank you very much, boss. Thank you very much, boss. We appreciate your tenacity. Thank you very much, boss. So for those of us that got value, what did you get this morning? What did you get this morning? You have questions, you got value and you have questions. Please let us know. What did you get this morning? What did you get this morning? Okay, I'm going to the chat room. Okay, Mrs. Linda has already wrote down what she learned. She said that don't wait for motivation, okay? So the rest of us, you want to share with us what you learned this morning, go to the taskbar. You will see raise hand. Kindly click on raise hand and then I will call you out so that you can tell us what you learned this morning. What did you learn this morning? This is not the moment of shyness. This is the moment where you need to take action. This is the moment where you need to take action. While we are about raising our hand, I want to quickly call out those of us that said that they will pay today. Mrs. Buki,